welcome to the first episode in this little mini series. I am just trying something a bit different. I'm always messing about in this absolute mess of a workshop with bikes and stuff, so I thought I'd try and do a little project. As some of you probably know, I am a Fourcross racer. It's my favourite mountain bike discipline. A lot of people have been talking to me, asking me how to get into it, what bike do you need? Do you need to do anything specific? And the answer is really no. You can just ride whatever you've got. Just turn up at a race. As long as you've got two brakes and a full face helmet, you are good to go. So just in case you don't want to race your trail bike or whatever bike you're riding, or you don't think it's suitable, I've got this in my head that you can build a Fourcross bike, a very out of the box Fourcross bike, very cheap. And I've set myself a little challenge of trying to build one for £100 or as close to £100 as I can get. I have had my eye on Marketplace for quite a while, and I've bought a bike. So let me go and get the bike and we'll have a look, see where we're at with it, show you what it is, show you what it needs, and then we can get building. We'll go and test it, we'll do some modifications, and hopefully once we've got this little bike up and running, we can get it a rider for round one of British Fourcross 2024. So let's get the bike in this little stand that I've temporarily put up for this project, and we'll get cracking. I'll show you what's wrong with it. So under this sheet is a bike that I bought for £60 from Facebook Marketplace. It might not be what you think of when you think national level race bike, but I've ridden one of these frames before that I worked on for somebody, and I always thought this would make a really good Fourcross bike with the right build, or just general fun play bike. So the grand reveal, it is a bright orange, I think 2000 model Carrera Vengeance, with some really interesting upgrades from the previous owner. So let me take you through them, and we'll see what we're going to do to try and fix it. So the first thing I noticed about this bike is it's a 650B, it's a 27.5, but it's got a 26 back wheeling, and it's some rubbish old 6-speed screw-on free-hub type wheel. So that is going to have to be changed. The crank is, I'm not sure whether this is the original one or not, but it's the cheapest Shimano crank you can possibly get. It's a 3-speed on the front. So that is going to need a full upgrade. The seat is absolutely battered, so we'll try and do something with that. Obviously the grips need to go. The forks, because it's £100, well, as close to £100 as I can build, the forks are going to have to stay. What we're going to have to do is as much work to those as we can to try and make them work. The front wheel is the original Carrera wheel, and oddly the brakes work quite well, so we are going to stick with these cable brakes for the budget. We're going to do whatever we can with them, and let's see if we can make this work. So right now you're probably thinking, how on earth are you going to turn this into a race bike for what, 40 quid? And I was thinking that too. So I've already done a little bit more Facebook Marketplace shopping, and I've picked up this piece of scrap. So this was £20, absolute pile of junk, but I want the cranks, so I'll throw this in the stand and show you what we're going to do with this. So this was listed on Marketplace for 30 quid. I paid 20 for it. It's got no front wheel. The front wheel's gone. Don't know where that is. What I really wanted was these Holotech 2 Dior LX cranks with a good bottom bracket. That means I can run a single ring on them to go with a 1x drivetrain. Actually, the pedals aren't too bad, and I've got a little plan for those. So stay tuned for that. It's also got an old XT 9-speed rear mech and a 9-speed cassette that looks in decent condition. So we can use that. And up here we have a nicer set of Dior V-brake levers, which will work with the rear mech to do some nice shifting. It is an integrated front shifter. I'm not a fan of that. I might see if I can pick up another Dior lever really cheap, but if not, we'll stick with the integrated lever. The forks are possibly worse than the other ones. These are Avid single-digit tie brakes in pretty good condition, so I think I can take those off and sell them to recoup a little bit of money to put back into this build. Everything else is pretty much scrap bin, but I don't know, maybe somebody will want this wheel. If you've got a front one, I imagine it would make a real nice retro build. It's a Shimano 16 spoke, so if anybody's keen on that wheel, let me know. For the end of this video, I am going to tear this down. I'm going to get it, it's just in my way right now, so I'm going to strip it apart, get the bits off it I want, get rid of the rest, just put it out of my way for now. Let's get this torn apart. Anybody want a, what is it? Saracen Compass Comfort? Anybody? Free to a good home, in fact any home. It can be free to a bad home if a bad home wants it. If you don't have a chain whip, but you do have a cassette tool and an impact driver, you can hold it and take it off with the impact driver, and it comes off absolutely no problem whatsoever, he says. Yeah, so that's it. We've stripped a bike down that was in my way. We've got a load of parts to use for the build. We've got basically what I wanted from it. A set of Shimano Holotech cranks, which are actually in ridiculously good condition. They've hardly been used, I would have thought. Bottom bracket's absolutely mint. So, yeah, next time we'll start looking at putting them all onto the race bike and see if we can make that better. So, I suppose I'll do the YouTube like, subscribe, comment, do what you want. I'm not overly fussed. And we'll see you next time for hopefully putting something together instead of taking it apart. But we might be taking things apart again.